Someone told me to use pitch corrector in one of my songs because my vocals were not in perfect pitch. And even though I don't mind getting feedback, because sometimes it's something that I can use to become better, this in particular is something that makes me kind of sad. Because this shows that so many people are used to music that is so polished and so perfect. And even though you can use pitch corrector in many different ways and you don't necessarily have to turn it up and make it really obvious, I also have this belief that music is supposed to be human. It's supposed to be imperfect. It's supposed to be lively. It's supposed to be something that resonates with me. It's something that is personal. It's something that for me is when I'm freestyling and I'm being intuitive and innovative and I'm experimenting, I'm trying new things and allowing myself to be imperfect, because if I experiment with music, I have to allow myself to be imperfect. I cannot expect perfectionism. And even though I don't mind pitch correcting or other effects that polish music, I don't have any resistance towards it. It's not like I don't like music that uses that, but I don't want to ignore the other end of the spectrum and think that there's only one correct way to make music. This is also why I have recorded and released my own music without using a producer or someone to mix or master the songs. Yes, it might mean that my songs won't be played in the radio because they don't have the right sound, or it might mean that I don't have as many listeners. It's not because something is wrong with making something sound clean and polished, but it's because I enjoy music that is imperfect. I enjoy music that has a human touch, a human sound. And maybe that is naive of me to believe that I can be successful as a singer or a songwriter or musician with imperfect music. But I also think about the many singers and songwriters through history who have been imperfect and still were successful. There's even been people who've been singing off key. But that was not the most important thing, because their message and their emotions and their story and their personality was what shined through the most. Nowadays, so much music sounds alike. I don't listen to radio because every song that plays kind of sounds the same. I just like music that is unique and has a personal touch and doesn't sound like anything else out there. And that sometimes means that you might have less success, because the more different you are, the more unique you sound, the less people are gonna be interested in listening to it, because people have this aversion to something that sounds different or kind of out of line with what they're used to. They like listening to something that they can relate to something else. They like listening to the same stuff because that is comfortable. There's also this crowd mentality that the more people are listening to something, the more likely it is that other people want to listen to that same thing, because we tend to move in crowds. And if someone sticks out, a singer or songwriter or musician does something a bit different that is out of line with the rest, then it's probably only the other outsider people who will be attracted to that kind of music. The people that like to live and act in crowds, they will follow the crowd. But I still think that we need outsider music. We still need music that sounds different. We need a contrast to all this mainstream music that's out there. And maybe that means that you don't have as much success as someone who does the same thing as everyone else. But you're just gonna be more interesting, especially to the people that really like different music and that really like something that sounds unique. And so it is important to find those listeners who really appreciate what you come with and the sound that you have, the personality you have, and ignore the people who don't understand it and who constantly criticize it or think that you should fit into this box, this mold on how to be a successful musician or singer-songwriter. Just because others have success doing it this way doesn't mean that you can't have success doing it in a completely different way. So continue to be true to yourself, your own way of doing things, and your own musical journey, because that's success.